Now, boys and girls, we're going to move on to a question that's a little bit more challenging than the one we just did because everything came out evenly. And in this one, we're going to have something that's called a remainder, and you're going to find out what that looks like in just a second. So, first of all, again, let's review. We have 4 as our divisor, okay? And our dividend is 657. So, what does that tell us? Again, we're going to build 657. That's how many we have altogether. And what is dividing? It's sharing. So we want to share that up equally amongst 4 groups. Okay, so 657 divided evenly into 4 groups. So let's start doing that with our base 10. So first of all, again, we want to build our 657. So here we go. Let's start with the hundreds. We have 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So there's all of our hundreds. We're not doing any groups yet. We're just making our number, just building. How many do we have in the tens? We have 5 in the tens place. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. And then we look at our ones and we have 7 in the ones place. So we need 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we've built our number. So that's our dividend. So now we're looking at our divisor. We know we have to divide this up evenly into 4 groups. So how is that going to look? First of all, let's just move our tens off to the side and our ones so that we can work with our hundreds to start out with. So we need 4 equal groups. So let's start with that. So here we go. So group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. Uh-oh, we have 2 100ths left over, 2 100 flats. So what are we going to do? Just pitch those in the garbage? Nuh-uh. We have to do something with those. So what are we going to do? We're going to trade them in for some 10 sticks. So, of course, we have to know how many 10 sticks we're going to get for this. We have how many 10 sticks in each of these flats? That's right, boys and girls. We have 10 in each one. So 10 here, 10 here, 10 plus 10 is 20. So we're going to trade these in for 20 10 sticks. So let's get rid of these, and we're going to bring in 10 sticks. So let's just move these up a little bit out of the way so you can see. So we have 10 10 sticks. We have 10 more 10 sticks. That's our 20. And then we have the 5 that we had from when we built our number to begin with. So we have 25 10 sticks now that we're going to work with and divide those equally into our 4 groups. So again, you could take them and divide them 1 for 1 like I showed you before, but because we're in grade 4-5, we're going to use our multiplication tables. We know how to do that. So we're looking at our 4 times tables. We know our 4 times tables, so what we're going to think is 4 times what's going to get us to 25, or as close to 25 as we can get without going over. And knowing our 4 times tables, we know that 4 times 6 is 24. So we know that we should get 6 in each of those groups, and we should have 1 left over. So let's see what happens. So here we go. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, and we have 1 left over. Look at that. So we've got 6 in each group using our times tables. That made it a lot quicker for us. And we've got 1 10 stick left over. We can't take that and just break it into pieces and divide it up. So what do we have to do with that? That's right, boys and girls. We have to divide that into ones so that we can actually break it apart. So how many ones are in a 10 stick? Of course we have 10. So we're going to trade that 10 in for 10 ones. So here we go. We've got 10 ones coming over here. So there's our 10 ones that we've traded that 10 stick in for, but we also have to make sure we bring in those 7 ones that we used originally to build the number. So how many ones do we have available to us now? 10 plus the 7 from before, that is 17. Okay, and again, we need to divide those 17 ones equally amongst the 4 groups. Now, we could do that 1 for 1 or 2 for 2, but because we're in grade 4-5 again, we're not going to do that. We're going to look at our times tables. We know we're using the 4 times tables, and we know those times tables. So 4 times what is going to get us to 17, or as close as we can get to 17 without going over. We know our 4 times table, so 4 times 4 is 16. So that means that there's going to be 4 in each group, and we should have 1 left over. Okay, so let's see how that works. Because 4 times 4 is 16. So we know there's 4 in each group, and we're dividing it into 4 groups, and we had 17, so we should have 1 left over. And look, what do you know? 1 left over. So now what do we have to do here? We have to double check and make sure that our answer is correct. And when we look at this one that's left over, that is what we're calling our remainder. That is what's left over at the end. We can't divide that up anywhere. It can't fit equally into 4 groups, so it's going to be left out on its own, and it's called the remainder, and we'll show you how we deal with that in a second. So let's double check and make sure our answer is correct. So remember, we have to go back and look and add all of our base 10 up. Do we come up with the dividend of 657? So let's count up our hundreds first. 100, 200, 300, 400. We're going to go to our tens. 410, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 500, 510, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 600, 610, 20, 30, 40. So we've got 640. And let's go with our ones, 644, 648, 652, 656. And then we have to make sure we add that one left over at the end, 657. So, did we get the right answer? You betcha, we sure did. It added all up to our dividend. Now, how do we know what the answer is then? So, what you find in one of those groups is your answer. So, how much did we come up with? 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 4. So, 164 is our answer. We have 1 in the hundreds place, we have 6 tens, and we have 4 ones. But that's not quite the whole story. We have to deal with this little one as well. So what do we call that? The remainder. So when we put that as the answer, we put an R off to the side, in the same spot, but then we put the 1 to show that we have a remainder of 1. So 4 into 657, or 657 divided by 4 equals 164 with a remainder of 1.